Hi everyone, very good evening. So I have joined for the 10 weeks of Yuktahaar project and I welcome you all. So today the topic is about exercise. In fact, I'm not talking about one particular topic in exercise, but we had put up a question sticker. So we have accumulated a number of questions which are related to the topic of exercise because I just wanted to cater to, the questions, the specific questions that you people have about exercise instead of, just talking about random subtopics within exercise. So without, further delay, I'll just get into it because all the questions are here and they are plentiful, which I'm very happy about. So I want to cover as much as possible. So I'm directly just going to, jump into the exercise, jump into the questions. So there's this one question which I really liked a lot, which is by Pallavi Ruanka. She says, I enjoy swimming a lot. I swim 4 to 5 times a week. Should I include weight training? Now I wanted to take this question because this will not only answer her query, but this will answer the questions of everybody who thinks ki, okay, I love to walk, but should I include weight training? Is it compulsory? I love to cycle, so do I need to include weight training? Is it compulsory? So this question is, I believe, it's there for a lot of people, and that is why I want to clear this concept. Now what happens basically is that any of these exercises, which is either swimming or walking or cycling, we know all of these exercises as a cardio exercise. When you typically go to a gym or you sign up with an instructor, they will tell you that, okay, this is a cardio day and this is a weight training day, which means that somehow we know that there is a differentiation between cardio and weight training, and therefore we are always told that, okay, you are doing the cardio, but what about weight training? Most of the people don't enjoy doing weight training, and therefore they have this question that, I love my swimming, I love my walking, I love the cardio, but what about weight training? Now, if I have to give an answer in very, very brief, I would say that weight training is of course excellent, but you don't have to do it if you don't enjoy it. You can swim in a way that you can reap the benefits of weight training within your swimming session itself, which means that agar aap koi bhi aerobic kar rahe hain, which means cardio kar rahe hain, which is walking, cycling, jogging, whatever it is, you can do it in a certain way. You can tweak your session in a certain way that you can reap the benefits of weight training. That is, if you do not enjoy weight training at all and you just want to pursue the cardio which you are doing. Now, to understand this, you will have to basically understand the concept of aerobic and anaerobic. So, jaisa maine kaha, we know of cardio plus weight training. We know that there's something called cardio, and then we know something which is weight training. I want you to, remove that concept. Instead, you start thinking of exercise as aerobic and anaerobic. Okay, now what is aerobic? Essentially all those exercises which you understand as cardio, they are all aerobic exercises, right? How do you recognize them? Aerobic exercises are those which can be sustained for a longer duration. So for example, the swimming here in this case, this girl Pallavi who has asked, we can swim for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. It can be sustained for a longer duration. The same is with walking, running, cycling, all of these things. They can be sustained for a longer duration. Hence, they are known as aerobic. Weight training, on the other hand, is anaerobic. I'm not giving you a lot of scientific definitions of what aerobic and anaerobic is. I'm giving you very practical ways of recognizing it. How do you understand weight training is anaerobic? Because when you do a bicep curl, for example, even if you do one set of say 15 reps or even 20 reps, it will get over within a few seconds. You don't do it for 30 minutes that you're curling your biceps. It doesn't happen, right? So anaerobic exercises are those which are done for a very short spurt of time, but they are higher in intensity. Aerobic are those which are done for a longer duration and they are more slow and sustained. Which means that if we come back to our example of swimming, you can very well turn. Now, swimming generally is considered an aerobic exercise. We all know that it's considered a cardio, it's considered an aerobic exercise. The reason being कि हम उसे लंबे समय के लिए करते हैं. But you can very well challenge yourself in the pool, while you are in the pool, so as to reap anaerobic benefits as well. And this holds for all kinds of aerobic exercise, whether it's walking, running, jogging, etc. How do you do that? It's simply by swimming faster. For example, if you are, say, take the example of like a walk. When you start jogging, like a slow jog, you can probably slow jog for say 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You are in the aerobic zone. But the moment you sprint, you will be able to do it only for few seconds. So the same mode, you're still doing the same activity, which is of running or jogging, but here what you did is you increased the intensity, you made it faster. So you increase the intensity, you make it faster, the duration will get shorter. So a sprint is faster, it's for a shorter duration, and therefore you tap into the anaerobic metabolism in a sprint. Versus a marathon where you do it for a longer duration, and because of the longer duration it's not as fast as a sprint, so the intensity is lower, the duration is longer, and hence we call marathon as predominantly aerobic, whereas a sprint is predominantly anaerobic. So the same mode, the same activity if you really look at that, but just changing the intensity and therefore the duration, the exercise can become primarily aerobic or primarily anaerobic. The same way for Pallavi, who has asked this question, swimming can become an anaerobic exercise if you can start swimming faster. Now, when I say faster, what does faster mean? Faster is a relative term because what is fast for you may be slow for me. Right? What is slow for you may be fast for me. So it's a very relative term. It depends on your, on the level where you are. If you are a very skilled swimmer, if you are an advanced practitioner, your fast ka definition will be very different from mine if I am not an advanced and a skilled swimmer. So when I say fast swimming, it doesn't mean some set speed. Okay, this is the speed where we want you to swim so that it becomes anaerobic. No, it just means that it should be fast for you personally, for you individually, right? So this is the way where you can turn any aerobic exercise, which is a cardio exercise, into primarily anaerobic and reap the same advantages of a weight training session by simply tweaking the intensity. The moment you increase the intensity, the duration automatically becomes shorter. Now the thing is, why do we want to do this? We want to do this because it is important to tap into both the energy systems. A comprehensive exercise plan, a wholesome exercise plan is only that one which addresses both the energy systems. So आपका जो suppose 1 week का schedule है workout का, it should be such that there should be some exercises which address the aerobic system. There should be some exercises which address the anaerobic system. Therefore, it's a general trend that when you sign up with an instructor or you go to a gym, they ask you, okay, cardio itne din karo and itne din gym karo. Usually they are said that, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday is cardio day, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday would be weight training day. This is how it runs, simply because we want you to tap into both the energy systems, because that is how you get a wholesome workout plan. That is also how your muscles, tendons, joints stay healthier. Whenever you are addressing your anaerobic zone and working and strengthening your muscles through that anaerobic zone, it helps you do a better cardio the next day. So they are always complementing each other. So that is also there. Giving you a very practical example on how you can do this. For example, in swimming, there are so many equipments nowadays, like you have fins, you have paddles. So a person can use those equipments to make the exercise more challenging, but to still give a very practical example of how you can turn your exercise routine into a combination of aerobic plus anaerobic without having to hit the gym. is simply that suppose, for example, you can do a lap, 12 laps is what you do in one swimming session. Then what you do is that you divide this 12 laps. So you think that one length I will do slow, one length will be moderate, one length will be faster, and then you take rest, and then you repeat this 4 times. So that is how you do these 12 laps. So this is a very, very simple example on how you can convert that same swimming session into a more productive workout regime where you are addressing both the systems. If you're not somebody who likes to hit the gym, who likes to weight train, then this is a very good question, because it can address all the cardios which are there. You can do the same thing with walking, you can do the same thing with running. This is how you can actually address both the systems with the same simple exercise, just by tweaking the intensity and therefore the duration. So let me get into the second question now. So Shifali, Philosophist Shifali, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it, but she's asking, can only walk help to lead a healthy life? So, yesterday only there's this new research I have written in my book about this Active 10 campaign, which the public health in UK had carried out, just to tell us that even if you do 10 minutes of walking, just get up from your seat and walk for 10 minutes, it will safeguard you from a lot of diseases, NCDs, like the non-communicable diseases, right? Yesterday only there was another research that came that said if you walk for 11 minutes only, just 11 minutes of walking, it can protect you from a lot of diseases, lifestyle diseases. So if you ask me a simple answer, can only walk help to lead a healthy life? Yes, it can. But we also need to understand that these are very generic advices. I do not know you personally. I do not know where you are in terms of your lifestyle. If you are a person who is completely sedentary, who is still struggling to even do those 10 to 11 minutes of walk, then yes, please get up and do those 10 to 11 minutes of walk. And yes, it can transform your health. It can transform your body. Just those 10-11 minutes of walk. It will protect you from multiple diseases, right? But the thing is that once you start doing that 10 to 11 minutes of walking, how many days or months or weeks will you continue doing that? The whole idea is once you start doing those 10 to 11 minutes of walk consistently every day, you yourself are going to feel so great from within. You will have a new confidence, your body will feel more active, and you therefore will yourself want to progress this into a 20-minute walk, and then further a 30-minute walk, and maybe 4 months, 5 months down the line you would want to transform this into a jog, right? So the thing is that, of course it's a very good place to start, but we should always think of progressing. That this principle in exercise science is called the principle of progressive overload, which means कि आप progressively धीरे-धीरे body को overload करते हैं, which means that you gradually just increase the intensity little by little. So of course, if you are completely sedentary, walking is a great place to start. But is this the place where you should stay forever? No, you should progress. That is what I just mean to say. The third question is by Mansi, who is asking what can be taken for soreness due to exercises. So again, it's a great question. Firstly, I want you to understand that unreasonable soreness is not normal. Unreasonable soreness meaning that kind of soreness that starts interfering in your daily chores. If you are a person who goes to office, you feel that it's interfering in your daily office work. उठने बैठने में इतनी मुश्किल हो रही है that you are not able to focus on your work. Though that kind of soreness is not normal, then you need to check your exercise. So maybe you're doing too much too soon as far as your exercise intensity or duration is concerned, and you need to reassess that. Second thing, of course, there are many supplements as it comes to muscle soreness. But before getting into supplements, the basic things of sorting out your diet, of ensuring that you're well hydrated. Muscles not only contain glycogen, which is a good carb source, but muscles also hold a lot of water. So if you don't give water to your body, again it can lead to a lot of complications post-workout. So ensure these basic things first before rushing into a supplement. I do give supplements wherever it is required. I usually do that in a one-on-one consultation. But having said that, even in a one-on-one consultation, we don't rush into supplements as the first line of action. So first, check your exercise intensity, duration, check the basic diet that you're doing, check your hydration levels. And if all of that is great and you feel that the soreness is still there, then you of course can go for, there's whey protein, which in itself gives a lot of relief as far as muscle soreness is concerned, or any protein, for example, like any protein powder. The second is of course glutamine, and there's also BCAA. So lots of supplements are there actually. All depends again on what kind of exercise also are you doing. Is it more endurance based, which means that, almost like you're tapping into your aerobic zone, which I explained, or is it more strength based, where you're tapping more into your anaerobic zone? So depends on a lot of things actually. Very difficult to say on an Instagram live, but to give a general overview, this is how it is. Shrikant is asking, lethargy in the morning, body doesn't permit after 12 hours of job schedule, so how do we work out? So again, a very valid question which I see a lot of अर्बन पीपल फेसिंग कि 12 घंटे का जॉब है, उसके बाद हिम्मत नहीं होती वर्कआउट करने की. सो व्हाट डू वी डू? नाउ अगेन आई विल से दैट गो बैक टू द युक्ताहार 4 पिलर्स, व्हिच इज फूड, movement, sleep, and stress management through yoga and meditation, right? If the other pillars are functioning well, then only you can make exercise a reality, which means कि वो 12 घंटे का job है, that's fine, I agree. But the thing is that, are you taking enough sleep after that, or are you staying away watching TV after coming back from the office, right? I don't know, again, this is not a personal consultation, so I don't know Shrikant's daily lifestyle. But what I'm just trying to say is that you need to reassess everything. If you don't sleep well, of course, in the morning you are going to feel lethargic. So you can't blame yourself for not having the energy to work out. So address everything. Are you being too stressed, too bothered about things? Then you need to probably first get into meditation and then think about exercising. So try to analyze which area requires more work. Is your diet right? Because if your diet is right, you will always feel the energy to work out, no matter how much you work. So that is the first thing that I will advise, that please check all the other 3 pillars. If the other 3 are working reasonably well, I don't want you to be like excellent in the other 3 areas as well. But if you're doing the other 3 reasonably well, you should be able to work out even after the 12 hours of job. That is one thing. The second thing is कि अगर ये चीज है right now and you don't know how to start and what to do about it, then just take very small micro steps. The problem with exercise is that a lot of us feel that it has to be those 5 days a week, 30 minutes per session kind of a schedule. No, it doesn't have to be. Like we just discussed, even 10 minutes of walk is great. 10 minutes of walk is something that you can accommodate within your office space, within those 12 hours of job schedule itself, right? So I will say that go for, so therefore, science, exercise science, therefore has divided this whole thing because of this modern urban issues that we have about time and work-life balance. Therefore, they have divided this whole thing into 2 things. One is just the activity which we know as the unstructured exercise. So it's not structured. And the other, which is the structured formal exercise, right? The unstructured exercise is basically just the movement. You start taking the stairs, don't take the elevators. When you talk on phone, attending meetings or office calls, just don't take it sitting down. Stand up and walk around while you're talking. So do these simple things of incorporating more movements into your daily life. That is the one aspect which a person can do right away, even if the person is working and not feeling the energy in the morning. But this aspect can be addressed. This particular unstructured, informal movement can be incorporated from day one. It doesn't have to be, as I said, it's unstructured. Therefore, there is no limit for it. There is no timing for it that you need to do it only for these many minutes. You need to do it this way. Nothing like that. So that is one thing that you can start doing right away. The other thing is that just start exercising only on Sundays, which is the other part, which is the structured exercise. Just do that only on Sunday. So that much of discipline you will have to get, that I need to invest in my health, I need to invest in myself. If you are a person who is working, you very well understand about long-term investments. So if you start thinking about exercise as a long-term investment, this is the investment which is going to give you the biggest ROI. So please start thinking of exercise in that way, so that you don't sleep more on Sundays, but you feel that, okay, this is a Sunday, I have all the time, there's no work, so let me just get up and get some 20 to 30 minutes of any exercise which you like. Don't bother about what kind, just do anything that you like, starting from a walk, as I said, but just go and start, because that even once a week of exercise and the other days of unstructured movement, what it will give is, it will give you so much of feel good factor within you that you will start making room and time for yourself to work out eventually after a month or two. So after office, जब वो office गपशप होता है, you will want to excuse yourself, you would want to say your office colleagues that no, it's time for me to go because I want to get up early and I want to start to work out. So that is gradually going to happen. So start with the micro steps, start with the smallest things first. Then Shraddha has asked which kind of exercise can help with reducing chronic lymphatic blockage in legs. The most excellent exercise for this is inversions. I'm talking about the yoga inversions. A very simple one is Vipreet Karni. You can just Google the name Vipreet Karni. You will know how to do it. In a very simple words, it's just putting legs up the wall. Take any wall, put your legs up for some time. Even if your hamstrings are tight, you cannot keep your legs completely straight. You can keep it slanted. That's also fine. So there are many, versions of it, in the sense that if you don't feel comfortable doing it completely 90 degree, there are many ways of doing it so as to make it comfortable. It's all available on YouTube. You can just go and check. I am saying Vipreet Karni because it's the simplest thing to do as far as inversions are concerned. Of course, if you are able to do headstands, shoulder stands, nothing like it. All the inversions are great as far as lymphatic blockage in legs are concerned, or even varicose veins are concerned. Then somebody has asked how to build stamina for different exercises. Now a very simple answer is that you do the different exercises, and that is how you build stamina for the different exercises. In exercise science, there's this principle which we call as the principle of specificity, which simply means that if you are weight training, then after 2 months or 3 months, you will only get better at weight training, right? It's not that I am weight training for the last 3 months, so I'll automatically become a great runner. That doesn't happen. If you are constantly, consistently running for the last 3 months, you will get better at running. After that, if you come to the gym and say, I will be able to lift too good, I've been running for the last 3 months, that doesn't happen. So you become better in only those specific exercises which you are consistently doing. Of course, all the exercises do complement each other. They will help you get better. That's a different thing. But you don't become great at all the exercises by doing only one exercise. So here, if you're asking me how to build stamina for different exercises, you will have to do those many different exercises to build the stamina in those respective exercises, right? Having said that, I have seen a lot of people who are wildly hopping from one exercise to the other because they feel, okay, this is not working for me, let me do that. That is not working for me, let me do that. This is not how it works. Of course, it's great to have a variety in your exercise routine, but आप कोई भी exercise पकड़ो, उसको 12, 13, 14 हफ्ते लगते हैं to show results. So you cannot be on a Rajdhani Express thinking that, okay, I'm doing this exercise today, and if it doesn't work after 4 sessions, I'll jump into a Zumba class. After 4 Zumba classes, I'll jump into a Pilates class. It's not like that. So please put your heart and mind into one exercise. Give your 3 months, 6 months to that. After that, if you do want to experience a different mode and change and have a variety, there is no problem. In fact, I know a lot of people who have experienced a variety of exercises, and then they know, I have experienced so many variety of exercise, but this particular X, Y, Z is my go-to exercise. So what they do is that they will still experience, they'll do their XYZ exercise for say 1 year, but they'll say, okay, maybe I'll change for some time. They will go change, but eventually they'll again come back to their go-to exercise, right? So we see a lot of people, in fact, a great exerciser is the exerciser who is not trying a different variety of exercises every now and then, but he is doing the same exercise year after year, year after year. I can remember a very great quote from Bruce Lee, which is that it's not about the 10,000 kicks, 10,000 kinds of kicks, variety of kicks, or 10,000 kinds of kicks, but it is about practicing the same kick 10,000 times. And that is what exercise is all about. That is what any great physical athlete will tell you, that it's not about doing variety, it's about being consistent. Okay, so the next question by Navya is, what is the best exercises to lose weight? I was really wishing not to get these questions, but I have it, so I'll answer it. It's almost like asking what is the best diet to lose weight, right? I think we should get over this thing of, where we try to Google best diet to lose weight, best exercise to lose weight. There is no best exercise to lose weight. Agar aisa hota, so everybody would have been thin today. We wouldn't have been experiencing an obesity epidemic in the world if there was something like that there is one best exercise to lose weight. There is no one best diet to lose weight. There is no one best exercise to lose weight, right? Like how my book Yuktahaar is, it's a 10-week diet, yes, but is it just a diet? It's a complete lifestyle. It tells you about very small, simple habits to incorporate, and when you do these habits, even if you follow 50% of the book, people are getting results, right? So it's not because of any one diet, it's because of multiple small things that people are doing after reading the book, which can even mean that applying only 50% of the book. In the same way, exercise is not about having one best exercise which can give you weight loss. It's about those simple things of bringing more movement, of knowing where you are currently. If you are a person जिसने 3 साल से कुछ exercise ही नहीं किया है, then please don't try to become a superman on your day one and believe that I'm going to do everything on day one. Set realistic goals. If you are a person who has been predominantly sedentary, then know that you have to start from smaller steps, which can even mean a 10-minute walk, which can even mean just one session a week of yoga, gym, weight training, swimming, Pilates, whatever you like. And from there on you build. That is how you should look at exercise, being more sensible. That is how you should even look at diet, being more sensible. And one thing I really want to say, that stop looking at diet and exercise only as means to lose weight. In fact, you should have goals that, I walked 1 kilometer on Monday. So, next Monday, I should try to make it 1.5 kilometers. Let that joy be there instead of getting on the scale ki, oh, Monday to Monday, mein weight loss kitna hua. There are bigger incentives of exercising than just losing weight, and I think we should really focus on the bigger incentives because they give long lasting joy. Okay, so the next question is okay, that's also a very valid question by Vishal, which says, should we have an instructor or can we exercise on our own? Really depend again where you are. If you are already a person, for example, take yoga. Now, yoga is a skill which you should learn from a teacher. Yoga के लिए books हैं, बहुत अच्छे books हैं by great gurujis like the BKS Iyengar, the Shivananda Saraswati के Shivananda Yoga के काफी सारे books हैं. So all that is great, but nothing can beat a good teacher if you really want to learn yoga and you're completely new to yoga. The same is with weight training also. Right? I mean, if you want to hit a gym and you really don't know how to do the exercises, you need to hire an instructor so that he or she can teach you the basic forms of say a squat, a lunge, a bench press, a deadlift. These are important things and these are learnings that stay with you for a lifetime. So yes, for some time at least you should have an instructor. But suppose if you want to just start walking as a cardio. Now, do you need an instructor for that? You don't need an instructor for that. So it's a very subjective question. Also depends कि अगर आपको ऑलरेडी योगा आता है, you already know your weight training forms, you already know say Pilates, then of course you don't need an instructor. So it really depends on where you are. If you are a complete beginner, I would say an instructor is a good place to begin with. Dr. Janani Pari is asking, what is the best time to exercise? What is the minimum interval needed between yoga sessions? So, okay, there are two lines of thought and I'll give you both the two lines. According to Ayurveda, the best time to exercise is only in the morning. I have explained the Ayurvedic clock a lot of times in the past. So you can go back there and see that. In the evenings, maybe just a mild gentle walk. That is what Ayurveda recommends. Western science, which is the Western exercise physiology, they don't believe in that. They say that any time is a good time to exercise. So really depends on you, what you want to believe in. I will say that few things that I have seen in my practice is that if you are a person who finds it difficult to sleep at night, difficult to sleep at night का मीनिंग है कि आपको नींद नहीं आती, आप बिस्तर पे चले जाते हो और आधे घंटे तक ऐसे टॉस करते रहते हो, एक घंटे तक you are looking at the ceiling and then you ultimately take your mobile and start scrolling on the Instagram, then such kind of people should really not exercise in the evening. अगर आपको ये इशू नहीं है and somehow you feel that exercising in the evening is more realistic and more practical for you, keeping in mind your office schedules or your work schedules, then you go for that, right? I am personally a morning person. I love to exercise in the morning because I feel that at least it gets done. If I start thinking कि I'll exercise in the evening, I know it's not going to happen because my work is such. Right, and also it gives me a good start to the day. I feel very nice and I feel, like awake once I am done my exercise session. So it gives me a good start to the day. So it really, depends from person to person. The minimum interval needed between yoga sessions, ka aisa kuch bhi nahi hai. You can do one yoga session in the morning, you can do another yoga session in the evening. So it's completely fine. There is no minimum interval as such, because yoga actually such a beautiful exercise कि योगा में हम कभी भी वर्कआउट करके नहीं निकलते हैं. So I have written about this in my book also in chapter 10 in the yoga section. Yoga, if you're following a traditional sequence, a traditional school, 1 hour class of yoga is always taught in a way that you're constantly working out and you're constantly relaxing at the same time. So if you're doing a forward bend, they will give you a backward bend immediately so as to recover from the previous exercise. If you are doing a headstand, you will, once you finish the headstand, you will immediately do a child pose so that you recover from the headstand. So this is something which is very unique about yoga, which is not there in any of the exercises, whether it's Pilates, weights, cardio, whatsoever. Therefore, whenever you get up from a yoga class, like you finish a yoga class and you get up, you're always getting up recovered only. In the end also in yoga, there is a mandatory shavasana or any form of deep relaxation. It could be yoga nidra, it could be shavasana. There are many ways of doing it. There are auto-suggestion deep relaxation techniques also, like the Shivananda yoga follows that at the end of the session. But if you follow any traditional school, वो अपने योगा सेशन को एक डीप रिलैक्सेशन के साथ एंड करते हैं. एंड देयरफॉर वंस यू गेट अप फ्रॉम अ योगा सेशन, यू आर कंप्लीटली रिफ्रेश्ड, रिकवर्ड एंड रिजुविनेटेड. So you can very well, do another yoga session after eating or doing your daily chores and stuff. So when we go for an ashram stay, we are doing multiple sessions of yoga. So we don't really analyze that, okay, there has to be this much minimum interval, there has to be that much minimum interval. Right? Because your parasympathetic nervous system is always stimulated within the same session of yoga where they are stimulating your sympathetic nervous system. So it's a very balanced exercise which really doesn't need a lot of rest intervals. You can very well do a morning session and evening session at the same time. Basharte you should know that you're ready for it. I mean, if you are really if you are just a beginner, then of course I will not advise you to do 2 to 3 sessions in a day, right? So then let me check what are the other questions. Okay, there are two questions about belly fat. So before I wind up, I'll just take that. I think it's time. So one is that will home workout really work for belly fat? And the other person is asking what is the best form or exercise to lose belly fat. Now let me first tell you कि ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं है कि arm fat, back fat, belly fat, thigh fat, you know, all of these fats ऐसा अलग अलग कहीं जगह से जाता नहीं है. So there is no spot reduction. It can only happen through cosmetic treatments if you want. Otherwise, if you really want to go the natural way, which I will encourage you to do, there is no spot reduction, right? So ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं है. What you just need to do is you need to lose your body fat. If you lose your body fat, you will lose from your face also, from your breast also, from your belly also, from your thighs also. You will lose fat everywhere. कहाँ से fat पहले जाएगा is dependent on your genes. So we really do not have a control over that. That oh, I want my breast to be big but my waist to be small. It doesn't work like that. So it is going to go from where it has to go, and all you can do is that just work out sensibly and eat a good diet. The entire book is there of Yuktahaar, which tells you how you can eat sensibly, also exercise sensibly. And since she's asking for a home workout, there's also a home workout routine given in chapter 10 of my book, जिसके लिए आपको कोई equipments, कोई machines, कुछ नहीं खरीदने हैं. It's simply using your own body weight. So there are plenty of ways of exercising sensibly. Just do that and just eat a good balanced diet, just the way I have given in my book, and the fat will go gradually. You don't really have to work extra or do anything extra to remove your belly fat. Okay, so I'll take this last question, which is about how much time should one exercise, which is asked by somebody called Ayush Bhayan. So how much time should one exercise? Again, a very, very common question. If you go by the American College of Sports Medicine or any of these international sports organizations, they say 150 minutes per week of exercise is what you need. Now 150 minutes per week of exercise really means 30 minutes से 5 days a week. तो अगर आपने 5 दिन हफ्ते में 5 दिन 30 minutes of exercise किया per session, so what you accumulate is 150 minutes per week of exercise. So this is what the standard guideline is. Having said that, again, it's a very generic thing, as I have been saying since the beginning of this session. If you are a person who has never worked out before, or if you are a person who has not worked out for the last 1 year also, or for the last 6 months, then straight away jumping and aiming for 150 minutes per week of exercise may be highly ambitious for you at this moment. So for now, start with whatever you are comfortable. With exercise, always understand that it's good to get out of your comfort zone a little, right? But not get very uncomfortable that it leads to an unreasonable soreness or an injury. So we have something like a box scale in exercise science, which is like a 0 to 10 scale. In that 0 to 10 scale, we say that you perceive your exertion. If you think you are exerting somewhere 6 to 7, you are good. But you should not exert 9 to 10. You should not be very chilled as 3 to 4 also, right? So for now, if you are not exercising at all, then even 150 minutes per week of exercise can become somewhere as the 9 to 10 on a box scale for you. It can be highly exerting for you. So depending on where you are, you can start with something as basic as 10 minutes of walk. At the same time, we have another extreme where we have people who have been exercising for 10 years. So for them, 150 minutes per week of exercise is actually too less, right? So it really depends on your fitness level, on where you are, your exercise history, and taking all of those things into account, you should see how much you should work out, right? A very generic thing, as I said, is 150 minutes. If you are very low right now, you have not been exercising, then you gradually build it to 150 minutes. It can take 6 months also, that's really fine. So there's no hurry. Just go by, what you can do your best. I'll take few questions which are coming here live. when should one start exercising post delivery? It really depends on how you had your delivery, right? If it's a cesarean delivery or a vaginal delivery, so it depends on that. Also it depends on the other thing, which is how much have you been exercising before the delivery. If you have not been exercising before the delivery or even before getting pregnant, then of course you need to understand that the same guidelines will be applicable for you as the guidelines that I mentioned for a beginner. So depending on all of these factors, it's something that is decided, very well done on a one-on-one consultation. Not a very generic thing that you have delivered, so this is the time, this is when you can work out. It's not like that. Depending on your fitness levels, your exercise history, what kind of surgery you had, I mean cesarean or a vaginal delivery, also what kind of pregnancy you had, whether it was a very comfortable pregnancy or whether it was a very difficult pregnancy, depends on many things. So not a great thing to, I think, advise on an Instagram live. So I think I have taken a lot of your time, and I tried to answer a lot of these questions. Few are still unanswered, but if there's any question that you feel is important and I should have answered, then please feel free to post it in the comments when I post this video, and I'm surely going to answer them for you. A lot of people are again asking me the same questions which I have already answered, so please go through the video once again. If you feel that your question is not answered, then you can put it on comments, and I'm more than happy to answer them for you. Thank you so much.